The feeling of red pilling someone by accident is just uh I I don't let it go to my head because it's not me, it's God. But there was some post about communism and how great it is and how everybody eats. And I said there was a post about capitalism and how terrible it is or whatever, and I said, the problem with communism, that's what it was, comparing capitalism to slavery, which I do every day. I don't remember what the original post was, but I said the problem with communism and slavery is that the outcomes are very much the same. Some people eat bread, some people eat dirt. And somebody came and commented on it, and they said, that's the problem in America today. I agree. Hold the phone, I'm with you. But what I said was, name a communist country with less starvation and poverty than America today. I went back and they had deleted their comment. And somebody sat there like, oh, that's the problem with communism. It's not that the idea is bad. The best example I have is one time we were on a Boy Scout camping trip, and one of the Eagle Scouts, he's a little older, a little bit wiser than us, still in Boy Scouts, he said we should take the canoe out of the river. We should dig a ditch on the very steep, like 15-foot bank. We should dig like a trough to toboggan the canoe down into the river. And we were like, yes. Like, if you've ever seen that commercial, like, Por qué no las dos? We were like, yes. We were that excited about it. That was an incredible idea. Best idea that I've ever witnessed the creation of. Probably, maybe, I don't know. I've had some ideas myself. But there's a difference, folks, ladies and gentlemen. There is a difference between a good idea and an idea that we should do. Okay, not all good ideas work. That idea was vetoed by the Scout leadership. Communism is one of the greatest ideas of all time. In practice, it doesn't work. Stop trying. It's like, in practice, the idea that we would have one benevolent entity that would collect all the resources and redistribute them equally and fairly. Genius. Unfortunately, there's all these fatal flaws. First and foremost, who is that does it? They're going to become corrupt. I, in my own kindness and loving compassion for everyone, can confess I would take more for me than I gave everyone else. Now, it may be because I thought I can do more good with this. It may be because I say, well, most people aren't ready for this. It may be for other good reasons. It may be that I would give certain scientists more because I thought they were more likely to succeed, to cure cancer or save the world or whatever it is. But the problem with the communist ideological creation, it's a wonderful thing to look at in a bubble, in an imaginary world. The problem with it is it doesn't work. People are ultimately corruptible, even good ones. And unfortunately, most of the good ones don't want to be in charge. So we end up with bad ones in charge. And we end up with most people starving and a few people at the top having all this wealth. Now, I hear what you're saying. Well, that's the problem we're trying to solve. Exactly. That's not the solution. That's not the solution. Okay? I wish it was. But communism doesn't work. The other problem is different people have different needs. Not everybody needs the same amount of medicine. Not everybody needs the same amount of land. Farmers happen to need more land than, I don't know, race car drivers. They don't, but maybe they need a huge amount to have their own race car track, but maybe that's too, in communism that would never work. You know? Somebody still has to work at Taco Bell. Somebody still has to be a rocket scientist. The rocket scientist position is more stressful and more demanding than Taco Bell. Should they get paid the same? Communism is a wonderful, beautiful idea that has all these huge holes in it that make it not hold water. All right. That's what I want the world to know. Love each other. That's all we can do correctly right now, and we're not even great at that, but we can try.